class of structure analysis. This is the last class of unit third. Okay. And today we are going to discuss few theorems of displacement. So, first of all let us talk on Maxwell's reciprocal deflection theorem. Maxwell's reciprocal deflection theorem. Okay. That theorem was proposed in 1864. Okay. And the theorem is that deflection at ith point, okay, due to unit load at jth point. Let me make this I, okay, I, and let me define at j. Okay. This is any part of the structure. Okay. This is the part of the structure. So, the deflection at ith point due to a unit load means if due to unit load, if unit load is placed here, okay, then the displacement, okay, then whatsoever is the displacement, okay, say is displacement, say, okay, let me make j here, I here, okay. So, displacement, say this is the displacement. So, displacement here, okay, displacement here, say delta I, okay, delta I, the displacement the deflection at ith point due to unit load at jth point is the same as the deflection at jth point due to unit load at ith point. Means we interchange the position of the load, okay, means unit load has been applied here, and in this case the displacement, in this case if we observe the displacement at this joint, then according to this theorem, this okay, del, okay, here del is written here, so no problem, it is a delta, no problem. So, delta I, okay, here according to this theorem delta I is equal to delta j, okay, delta j, okay, delta j, okay. Let us write delta I, it is actually delta I, okay, displacement at I due to unit load at j means delta I j, okay, delta I j, okay, delta I j, and this one it is displacement at j due to unit load at I. So, it is j I. So, that can be written, okay. So, this is the Maxwell's reciprocal theorem that has been proposed in this year, okay, 1864. After this Bette's theorem was proposed in 1872, okay, and this is the generalized theorem, actually this is the generalized theorem, and that theorem is also called as Maxwell's-Bette's reciprocal theorem, okay, reciprocal, not work, reciprocal theorem, okay, reciprocal theorem. And what was the addition here? Bette's defined extended the work of Clerk Maxwell, and according to him, if we have two systems of loading, say P1, P2, say P3, okay, this is one load system, okay, and say this is the deflected shape, and if in the same structure we have another load system, say Q1, Q2, Q3, and say this is the displacement shape is this, okay, this is the displacement shape. According to Bette's theorem, okay, he proposed that the displacement measured at the point where second force of system, let define it as force system 1, okay, force system, let us say force system 1 and say this as force system 2, force system 2, right. So, according to him, if this value is delta 1, this value is delta 2, this value is delta 3, okay, and if the displacement has been observed here, okay, say this is say this is A1, this is A2, this is A3, okay. What are A1, A2, A3, what are delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, okay. Okay, according to this, okay, we should write okay, we should write here, write as this one, according to this, okay, that we need to replace by this one del, okay, del 1, this is del, this is del, and this is okay, this was correct, del 1, del 2, del 3, okay, according to this statement. So, according to Bette's theorem, P1 okay, P1 into del 1 plus P2 into del 2 and so on, that is equals to P, that is equals to equal to Q1, that is equals to Q1 into delta 1 plus Q2 into delta 2 and so on. This is the generalized theorem. So, let me define delta 1 and this small del 1. Del 1 is what? Del 1 is the displacement. Del 1 is the displacement at the points, okay, displacement at the points of force system 2, okay, and small del 1, it is the displacement, it is the displacement under the force system 1 due to loading of which one? Force system 2, okay, due to loading of force system 2, okay. So, according to this theorem, in a linear elastic structure, okay, in a linear elastic structure means, this is very most important, linear elastic means if we will apply force, if we will raise apply the force P, then displacement, okay, then that displacement is linearly varying, okay. This is the meaning of linear, okay, this is the meaning of linear, and elastic means after removing the load delta will be 0, okay. So, in linearly elastic structure subjected to two sets of force, okay, Pi, okay, Pi where I from 1 to n, and another force system Qj where j is from 1 to n. The work done by the set P, through the displacement produced by the set Q is equal to the work done by the set Q through the displacement produced by the set P, okay. Work done, okay, work done by set P, this one is important line, through the displacements through the displacement produced by the set q, means this one, P1 into delta 1, P1 into delta 1, okay, P2 into delta 2, P3 into delta 3. These are the work done. Okay, these are the displaced, the force acting. So, the work done will be product of P into means Pi into del 1. Okay. So, work done means here summation will be added also, summation. Okay. So, work done, total work done, okay, is equal to the work done by the set q, okay, work done by the set q through the displacement produced by the set p, means q1 multiplied by this delta 1, okay, q2 multiplied by this delta 2, q3 multiplied by this delta 3. This is the same. Okay. And here say we there are only two loads. Okay, there is only two loads. Okay, suppose we have only two loads. Okay, let me raise first. Say we have only two load P1 and Q1. Okay, say P1 and say P1 and Q1. Okay, P1 and Q1. Then we will have P1 into del 1 is equal to P2, oh sorry, Q is equal to Q1 into del 1. Okay. Now, if P1 is equal to 1 and Q1 is also equals to 1, then del 1 is equal to small del 1 equals to this one, del 1. Okay. So, what it is? It is Clerk-Maxwell's theorem. It is Clerk-Maxwell's theorem. Excuse me. It is Clerk-Maxwell theorem. Del 1 is equal to del 2, means if this okay, we have this one. Okay, if P is equal to 1, Q is equal to 1. Okay, so displacement here okay, is same as displacement here. Okay, so here it is small as it is delta here, it is small del here. Okay, so Betti's reciprocal Betti's theorem, it is a generalized form of Maxwell's reciprocal theorem, and it is also known as Maxwell's Betti's reciprocal theorem. Okay. So, let us do the proof of this theorem. So, consider two joints. Okay. Consider two joints, say 1 and 2. Consider two joints, say 1 and 2. Okay. Apply force at joint 1. Okay. Apply force, you need apply force, say it is say P. Okay, say P, apply force, then okay, this is the part of the structure. So, say here the displacement is, say the displacement is del 1 and here say displacement is del 2. Okay. So, work done in this case, will be how much? It will be half P into del 1. Why it is P into del 1? It is because the variation in P and del will be from 0 to this. Okay. and area covered this, it will be half of P into del 1. Okay. Okay. This one work done. Say this is the case 1, case 1. Okay. Now, in case 2, let us apply unit load, at this joint. Okay, apply. Okay, this is force P. This is force P. This is say this is okay. This is okay. Say this is force P. Okay, this is force P. Means we have applied one more force, at this joint, okay. Then here, okay, initially it was del 1, okay, it was del 2. Now say it is say now it is say del 3 and say del 4. So, in this case, what is the work done? What is the work done? Work done is P into del 3. Work done is P into del 3. Why P into del 3? P into del 3 plus half P into del 4. Why P into del 3? Because P force was initially acting at this point. Okay. Here displacement del 4 was started okay, from 0 to del 4. So, this is the work done. Okay. Let us take another case, case 3rd. In case 3rd, we are applying force P here. Okay. We are applying force P here. Then it is a deflected shape. Okay. So, what will be this ordinate? This ordinate will be del 4, okay, because this displacement, okay, this displacement is due to this force. So, del 4 will be here, okay, del 4 will be here, okay, and here what will be the ordinate? Okay, here the ordinate, okay, due to this force P, okay, okay. Okay, let us write first half of work done. So, work done, this will be equals to half P into del 4. Okay. Now, case 4, case 4. P is acting here, okay, initially P is acting here, then apply force P here. So, now it is del 4, and what will be the ordinate of this? Okay, due to P, okay, due to P, okay, the ordinate was del 2. So, it is del 2, it is del 2, okay, and here, okay, it will be how much? Del 1, okay, del 1, this value will be, okay, due to initially del 1 was observed. So, it is del 1, and what will be that? It will be del 3, it will be del 3, right. What will be the work done in this case? Work done will be half work done in this case will be okay, will be first of all will be P into del 2, right, plus P into del 2 plus half of P into del 1. Okay. This work done and this work done, both are same, since these two work done both are same. Now, here you see P del 4 del okay, let me check del 1 del 3 okay. So, okay. Now, add work done for this one, okay, and work done for this one, okay, work done for this one. What will be sum of this work done, sum of this work done plus this work done, okay, and sum of this work done plus this work done will be what? Will be exactly same, will be exactly same. So, what we are going to do, we are adding the work done, okay. This is say work done 1, say this is work done 2, this is work done say 3, this is work done 4. So, work done of, so doing work done of 1 plus 2 equals to 2 plus 3. If we are doing this, okay, if we are doing this, then we will get half of P into del 1, okay, plus half of P into half del 1, okay, half into P 4 plus this P into del 3 is equal to half of P into del 4, okay, plus P into del 2 plus half of P into del 1, okay. Half of P into del 1, half of P into del 1, it is going to cancel out, half of P del 4, okay, this is going to cancel out. Then what is the remaining thing? Remaining thing is P into del 3, P into del 3 is equal to P in del 2, P into del 2. Okay. So, see here P into del 3, P into del 3, okay, P into del 3, okay. So, P into del 3 is equal to P into this one, okay, del 3, this one equal to del 2, this one, okay, yes, this one is equal to this one, okay. So, okay, means we have del 3 is equal to del 2, del 3 is equal to del 2. So, what is it? Del 3 it is the displacement, del 3 is the displacement due to this is the displacement due to load at this joint, okay, due to load at this joint, and del 2 is what? It is the displacement due to load at this joint, okay. So, that is the Maxwell's theorem, that is the Betti's theorem, okay. So, this is the proof, okay. Okay. So, this theorem can be is very helpful in making flexibility matrix, matrices. What is flexibility matrix? Flexibility matrix, say in this example we have a beam, okay, we have a beam with support 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And at this joint there is a couple, and that is mentioned by 1. It means vertical. Okay, let me first make this one. Okay, it means at this joint okay at this joint at this joint since vertical force vertical force and moment is there, it will possible only when there will be the fixed support, fixed support. Okay, it will possible only when there is a fixed support. Okay, they are the at this joint it is continuous. Okay, moment. Okay, this one moment and that one moment, this is continuous and this is only hinge. Okay. So, here number of actual here the actual beam, the condition of actual beam is this. This is roller support. Okay, this is roller support and this is roller support. This is the actual beam condition. Okay, and number of unknowns. How many number of unknowns? Moment, vertical reaction, this. Okay, here 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 unknowns are here. Okay, 5 unknowns are here, and available equation only 2. Only equation 2. Okay, if we are neglecting the horizontal reaction. So, 3 static indeterminacy for this beam it is 3. Static indeterminacy it is 3. So, 3 redundants we need to take in this beam to find all support reaction. That is why we have taken this as redundant 1. Okay, that has been mentioned here, mentioned here by 1. Okay. Another redundant what we have taken, what has been taken in this figure, it is this one, moment at this joint. Okay, means it is by 2. Okay, and this one moment. Okay, that one action has been taken as redundant number 3. So, action, this is first action, this is second action. Okay, first action is the moment at this joint, second one action is the moment at this joint in this manner. Okay, and third is action this one. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Okay, and now we need to make a flexibility matrix. Flexibility matrix means we need to find. Okay, let me first define what is the flexibility matrix. Okay, say if F is equal to and if F is directly proportionate to displacement. Okay, then F is equal to say k into x. Okay, now if delta is equal to if F is equal to 1, then del is equal to what? K. Del is equal to what? K. Means displacement is equal to this K. It is flexibility. It is flexibility. Okay, so we will apply one by one. Okay, we will apply one by one, and the displacement is to be considered here. Since we have 3 redundant, so the order of the flexibility matrix, it will be 3 by 3. Okay, that will be arranged F11, F12, F13, okay, by matrix. Okay, F21, F22, F23, F, okay, F31, F32, F33, okay, and here this one and this one coefficient is going to same, okay, because F1, okay, it is the displacement, adjoint, okay, let me take either 2, okay, 2 is 3, okay, constant that we need to put, okay. Displacement adjoint 1 due to unit force at 1, okay. This is displacement adjoint 2 due to unit force at 1, this is displacement adjoint 3 due to unit load 1, this is displacement adjoint 1 due to unit load at 2, this is displacement at 2 due to unit load at 2, this is displacement at 3 due to unit load at 2, okay, due to unit load at 2, this is displacement at 1 due to unit load at 3, okay. This is the unit load at 2 due to unit load okay, this is due to unit load at 3, and this is 3, okay. Now the values of this coefficient F12 and F21, it is same, okay, F3, F13 and F21, it is going equal to this one F31, it is same as F13, F23, it is equals to F23. It is according to Maxwell's theorem, right. So this is the usefulness of the Maxwell's theorem, okay. So we need to find only half of the part, okay. Thank you very much.